Okay, I'm going to be looking at my screen quite a bit because I'm answering questions. Are you a casual gamer or a serious gamer? And I very much pride myself in being a casual gamer. I have been a serious gamer on things like StarCraft, things like Team Fortress Classic, but also World of Warcraft. But I just find it a lot funner just taking it easy. I don't see why games need to be stressful. Although TFC was really fun. The Ungiver asks, have I ever thought of doing videos other than Let's Plays, let's say game reviews on games you've done an LP on, or video projects that don't relate to the games as a whole? Basically, I've always considered it, but my goal is, of course, to make the videos that I would watch. And I guess, there's certain people that have such an amazing personality that all they need to do is be in front of the camera and just be themselves. For example, the Gradual Report, one of my the people I'm subscribed to, is exactly that way. So they are just gold material just by seeing it. But of course, I know my own personality, so I'm not really interested in seeing a video of me just being myself. I guess you guys are kind of a little bit more interested in that, but I only want to make footage that I would be interested in. I'm kind of amazed that NewYorkDefenderTalon posted a question here. Another pretty prominent Let's Player there. What originally made you interested in doing LP videos? That's a question I got quite a bit throughout this. Basically, I was a very big fan of Cloud8745, and then he kind of got a little bit douchebaggish for a while. I don't even think he'd really disagree with that take. He's got a lot better now on Natural Born Gamers. But when he became a kind of a douchebag, I got a brand new computer about the same time, and I'm like, wow, hey, my computer would be able to handle doing Let's Plays. So since I can't, and I looked around for a while, but I couldn't really find a Let's Play that really called out to me. I tried to look through lists, I didn't know where to look, so I thought, why don't I be the Let's Player I'm looking for? So that's basically how I started. It was just pretty simple. And it was also the same time that I stopped playing World of Warcraft, so that gave me plenty of time to get perfected at it. So, did I have a source for inspiration? Well, I actually kind of consider that I have 3 different kinds of inspiration. One of them is just the LP quality content, and 2 are the personality. I'm probably not even close to that, but to them. But I tried to make the quality about the same as Cloud8745 when he was going through them all. And I tried to come out with a personality between Jim Carrey, one comedian that I like quite a bit, and the Gradual Report. So I tried to kind of take from both of them, and they were my inspiration on my personality. My personality is a little different on the narration than in real life. Not too much different, but just try to kind of picture them like what they might say in the same situation. AxelGodOfNitemares has 2 questions. Oh yeah, this one's a very interesting one. I've never heard of it as being the unwritten law, but that a game has to be at least 6 months old before you LP it. I didn't think it was a law. I always thought it was kind of like a personal rule, like they didn't really want to deal with any patching or any bugs, or they didn't want to deal with all of the popularity type of people. So I thought it was a personal rule. I didn't think it was like a rule across the board. So actually, I don't really know anything about it if it really is an unwritten rule. Let me know. Will it change? Probably not. But at least I'll know that I'm pissing people off instead of accidentally doing so. If Fallout 3 occurred, how would you live your life? I would probably actually join the Enclave. Evil and or not evil is not as important to me if survival is really at that point. In fact, there's a lot of evidence that shows that when survival is... think about how many people die in the Fallout 3 every day, every month. Ridiculous amount of people die. It's amazing there's still people out there. But when survival's that hard, ethics just change. Society's depiction of things like murder, theft, torture, not so much, but a lot of different things just straight up change. In fact, I even think rape, the society's viewpoint on rape would change if we were at the situation where there was, because I don't really want to get into that. I really like how society has it now that rape is looked down upon. But I'm just saying. Okay, I don't really want to get into that because that would be a big old debate by itself. Okay, here's a very common question I get. It is probably one of the lesser ranked questions, but I want to answer it anyway. Vinasir asks, why do you prefer female characters over male characters? Because I'd rather look at a woman all day instead of look at a man all day. I'm sure that not everyone that plays male characters when female characters are available are gay, but I bet a few of them are. I mean, you're wanting to look at a guy for some reason. Could be totally wrong, but okay. And his second question is completely stupid. Just ridiculously stupid. Okay. I want your honest opinion in the war in Iraq. Was it worth it? Should we get out? We should have never been there. That's my honest opinion. We basically declared war on Iraq because George Bush couldn't spell Afghanistan. And I also don't think we should be in Afghanistan. I basically believe that having military occupations, even military bases in other countries is kind of stupid. It uses up a lot of tax money, pisses off those countries, and doesn't cause much effect. One thing I think that we should do more of that is kind of looked down upon is assassinations. I think that yes, sometimes we put a country in turmoil, but I think there's certain situations where either assassinate a cabinet, the lead person, and just put some kind of, I don't know what this, maybe tariffs, I don't know, whatever it is that a government does to muscle another government to change in a certain way. I really think that espionage should be used more instead of just outright occupation. I think espionage is not utilized as much as it should be. But that's my theory. I think with how much technology really gets used in espionage. And I think that's one of our greatest advantages is technology. So I would think that espionage should be what we do instead of put foot troops and grunts and really expensive helicopters and blah-de-blah, missiles and, no, I just think that's a waste of time. Just killing off an entire set of people, the Taliban, for example, when you could just kill off some of the key planners. I don't know. I could be wrong. That's just how I feel. What is my favorite song of all time and why? Well, the thing is, asking what my favorite song now would be something like The Killer's Human. But my favorite song changes constantly. So basically, the best answer is what song do I like that no matter how many times I've heard it, I still like it. And there's two songs that are under there. One of them is Natalie Imbruglia, Torn. I've heard that song so many times and I still like it. And another one is Madonna, Like a Prayer. Both of those songs I love quite a bit. There's a lot of other songs that are almost as good in that same category. And there's a lot of songs that I absolutely think are the greatest songs ever. And then about 4 months later, I'm not very interested in it. That's just how music ends up being. RPG Kid 5464. What do I prefer, physical media or digital download? I hate DRM. I hate every form of DRM. I hate the EA downloader. I hate Steam. I hate, pre-DRM, basically a CD copy protection and stuff like that, CD authentication, those sort of things, like the Secu-ROM and all those things, those are cool. Those I don't mind. They don't get in the way. They don't use your processor. They just check to make sure that you have your CD-ROM when you load up. But things like Steam and EA Downloader, they bug me. They are processes that are using up your memory and CPU, and they're just there to make sure that you've paid for your game, even though you have. It's just a pain in the butt. It pisses me. It pisses me off. That's what it does. I hate it. I hate those. Okay. All right. Moving on. Okay, so Dishwalla asks, do you always record when you play games for making Let's Plays out of them? Do you feel obliged to please the crowd when playing through a game? Well, think about this. When Fallout 3, numbers of people have complained about the 10mm pistol, and because they complain about it so much, I use it more. So, yeah, there's part of me that wants to please the crowd, but there's another part of me that loves being rebellious. Oh, do I love being rebellious. So, yes and no.